working for the man, spinning my wheels, got bills to pay. I'm going nowhere faster, I can't catch a break, I'm burnt out.
Okay, maybe you weren't lied to about your retirement, but you were probably taught very little on the subject of financial acumen. Have you ever noticed how nobody actually knows who the Joneses are, but somehow we're always feeling pressure to try to keep up with them? No matter where you live, where you work, or how much you make, there's always somebody with a bigger house, a newer car, and a nicer vacation on Instagram. And it looks good. Man, it looks really good. Am I missing out? Hello everyone, I'm 𝙬𝙤𝙪'𝙡𝙀 from 55 and Out. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you checking us out. If the steps we discuss resonate with you, please subscribe. Then you won't miss the video drops, polls, and other shenanigans happening on this channel. I walked away from my office job in corporate America and took a part-time job at Costco for medical benefits. That decision sparked a lot of interest amongst you, my fellow journeyers. How my wife and I got to the place where this was possible is the purpose of 55 and Out, and it's what we'll be discussing here each week. I think if we're honest, at times, we've all struggled with the image of the Joneses. We have. We're human. And we see the other people living the life that we think we want, and it's hard. What nobody shows you about the Joneses is the balance sheet, the credit card bills, the car payments, the mortgage, the home equity loan, and the knot in their stomachs when they think about retirement, or for that matter, just paying next month's bills. They're tapped out. I would literally run the numbers. They're probably making this much, house payment, 2 cars, insurance, trips, expenses, and I would come to the conclusion that the Joneses, like many Americans, are spending beyond their means. Why do the Joneses look so good? My wife and I committed to make very different choices. They didn't look impressive at all, initially, but completely changed our future to be here right now. This video will cover another concept in being able to be 55 and out. Let's get started. Oh yeah, wait, we're going to talk about money. Disclaimer. Dennis, roll the tape!
Side effects for Ardurfal include memory loss, loose bowels, headaches, drooling, dry mouth, cold feet, drowsy insomnia, painful numbness, and memory loss.
What the? This is not the right disclaimer. Dennis! This is so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to fire Dennis. He's literally got one job. Put the tape in the VCR. We've got 5 sections we're going to cover quickly today. Section 1, 3 books that changed our thinking about money. Before I get into our story, I want to back up for just a minute. A lot of how we think about money today isn't taught. My wife and I had to go learn it. I read a lot of books on retirement. Okay, that's a lie. I'm a really slow reader. I listened to a lot of audiobooks on retirement. A lot of audiobooks. Look, I told you before, I really wanted out. Consequently, this also means I listened to a lot of audiobooks that just didn't resonate with me or what I was looking to do. I will save you some research time. Here are the 3 books that completely changed the way we look at money, wealth, and retirement. I will leave links in the descriptions to those books. The first one was Smart Couples Finish Rich by David Bach. This book taught us the power of starting early, automating your savings, and most importantly, getting on the same page with your spouse. It showed us that building wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about what you do with what you have consistently over time. That's such a key point. It's not always about how much you make, it's what you do with it that is so important. The second book was The Millionaire Next Door, and this one really hit me, because the whole point of the book is simple. Most millionaires do not look rich. They're not driving super luxurious cars. They're not living in mansions. They're your neighbors. Living in average houses, driving older cars, spending carefully, quietly building real wealth while everyone else is trying to look successful. And the third book was Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Now you may love Dave or you may not, but one thing he gets absolutely right, debt is dangerous. This book taught us the value of getting out of debt, building margin into your life, and not letting payments control your future. Those 3 books together gave us a completely different mindset on money, and once you see it, you will think differently. Section 2, the illusion of looking successful. Let's be honest, our culture is built around appearances. We're taught that success looks like big house, nice cars, fancy trips, the right neighborhood, and if you don't have those things yet, well, you're not there yet. But here's the problem. Looking financially successful and being financially successful are not the same thing. In fact, a lot of people who look the richest are the ones with the least freedom, because almost everything you see it's financed. The house has a mortgage, equity loan against the house, fancy car payments, vacations on the credit card, and slowly, month after month, your life gets locked into payments, and once your life is built on payments, early retirement becomes almost impossible. You have to figure out how to break this cycle for your own personal journey. It might hurt, but how badly do you want out? Section 3, Our Story. Let me give you one example of the many choices we've made along the way. Here's one thing my wife and I did early that usually surprises people. Most people can't or won't do it. My wife and I are second marriage. I was 40 when I remarried. We did not take a real vacation for the first 8 years of our marriage. 8 years. Not because we didn't want to travel. We did. But because we wanted something more. We wanted freedom. While people around us were upgrading houses, buying nicer cars, and taking those big trips, we were driving older vehicles, living below our means, paying things down, investing quietly, and nobody was cheering. Nobody ever said, "Wow, I really admire how responsible you're being with your financial management." Let me assure you, that never happens. It's not valued by people because it's also not understood by people. Something very important was happening with us. We were buying time. Section 4, The Real Cost of Keeping Up. Here's what keeping up with the Joneses really cost you. It doesn't just cost money. It costs freedom, flexibility, peace of mind, and years off of your life. Every time you upgrade your lifestyle, you raise the bar on how much income you need just to survive. That bigger house? Now you need higher income just to stay afloat. That nice new car? Now you need a paycheck for the next 5 or 6 years. That lifestyle? Now you can't afford to lose your job. You can't afford to take risks. You can't afford to slow down. You're not working towards retirement anymore. You're working to maintain your lifestyle and to stay afloat. Section 5, Looking Rich versus Being Rich. Here's one of the most important lessons I've learned. You can look rich or you can become free. Very few people get both. Freedom comes from low debt, high savings, intentional spending, and patience is the hard part. Early on, all you see is what you're missing, but over time, your investments grow, your stress drops, your options increase, and one day you realize something incredible. You're not trapped anymore. When I talk about 55 and out, that's exactly what I mean. This didn't come from one lucky break. It came from hundreds of small decisions over decades. Decisions to live below our means, to ignore the noise, to stop comparing our life to everyone else's highlight reel. So if you're watching this and you feel that pressure, the pressure to upgrade, the pressure to match your friends, the pressure to look successful, remember this. The goal isn't to keep up with the Joneses. The goal is a worry-free retirement. Build the life you want, not the life that looks good online. Our favorite Dave Ramsey quote became our mantra for what we are trying to do. If you live like no one else now, later you can live and give like no one else. Last week we discussed getting your 401k and Roth a health check and getting you actively engaged in your retirement. This week I recommended 3 books, linked in the description, that changed our view on money, and they can for you. We went from being managed by money to owning our money. I encourage you to start thinking about what are you willing to do or change to start changing your future. What is it worth to you? Each week we'll continue to discuss the hundreds of small steps that led us down a great path, and it can for you also. Please subscribe. The channel is growing and I am very thankful for your involvement and support. Comment in the video if there are certain questions or things that you want discussed. Until next time, thank you.